The 22nd May 2012 is slated for Lake Chad Day. The theme for the 48th anniversary of the establishment of the Lake Chad Basin Commission is Let's Save the Lake Chad. To commemorate the occasion, this week's episode of Water for Life is on the Lake Chad Basin and the 14th Summit of Heads of State and Government, which took place in N'Djamena, Chad Republic on April 30th, 2012. I am Paige Benson Aquada. Happy viewing.
Lake Chad, once one of Africa's largest freshwater lakes, has shrunk dramatically in the last 40 years. Human activities are to blame for the shrinking of Lake Chad. The lake's decline probably has nothing to do with global warming. The situation is attributed to human actions related to climate variation, compounded by the ever-increasing demands of an expanding population. Lake Chad is in the Sahel, a vast savanna bordered by the rainforest of the west coast of Africa on one side and the Sahara Desert to the north. Chad, Niger, Nigeria, and Cameroon are neighboring countries. The lake is probably at least 20,000 years old and has shrunk and expanded over thousands of years. The recent decline is by far the greatest. In 1963, the lake covered about 9,700 square miles, that is 25,000 square kilometers. Today, it is 1/20th of that size. Historically, Lake Chad receives most of its water from the monsoon rains that fall annually from June to August. But beginning in the late 1960s, the region experienced a series of devastating droughts. As the rains increasingly failed to come, the region began undergoing desertification. At the same time, local people became more and more dependent on the lake as a source of water to replace the water they had previously obtained from the monsoons. Human and animal populations came to rely more and more on water from the lake. Massive irrigation projects to combat the drier climate diverted water from both the lake and the two main rivers that empty into it, the Chari and the Logone. The lake's decline and the climate change have had an enormous impact on the 9 million farmers, fishermen, and herders living in the region. They have experienced crop failures, dying livestock, collapsed fisheries, and the continuous draining of the lake. The problem is expected to worsen in the coming years as population and irrigation demands continue to increase. The Lake Chad Basin Commission was created in 1964 by the four countries bordering Lake Chad: Cameroon, Chad, Niger, and Nigeria. They were later joined by the Central African Republic and Libya.
The Lake Chad Basin Commission was established in 1964, precisely 22nd May, by the heads of state of government of Nigeria, Niger, Chad, and Cameroon there. You know, elders normally think about the future, not the present. At that time, they had the vision that in the future there might be problem within the region, either of water or security or economic activity. And they decided in their wisdom at that time to create the commission. And they were hoping that eventually it would be useful to the community. So it was a foresight of good health, good leaders of the nation at that time.
The aims of the Commission are to regulate and control the use of water and other natural resources in the basin and to initiate, promote, and coordinate natural resource development projects and research. The 14th Ordinary Summit of Heads of State and Government of the Lake Chad Basin Commission, LCBC, was held on the 30th April 2012 at the Presidential Palace, Republic of Chad, under the chairmanship of His Excellency Idris Deby Itno, President of the Republic, and the current chairman of the LCBC Summit of Heads of State and Government. In attendance as statutory members for the Republic of Niger, His Excellency Muhammadu Yusufu. For the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCFR. For the Central African Republic, His Excellency Francois Bozize. And for the Republic of Cameroon, Mr. Yauba Abdullahi, Minister Delegate to the Minister of Economy, Planning and Regional Development. For Libya, His Excellency Ashur Saad Ben Qatar, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. Attending as observer members for the Republic of Sudan, His Excellency Abbas Arabi Abbas, Ambassador of Sudan to Chad. For the Republic of Congo, Mr. Rodolphe Adada, Minister of State, Minister of Industrial Development and Promotion of the Private Sector. And for the Arab Republic of Egypt, His Excellency Mohammed Ezzedine Foda, Ambassador of the Arab Republic of Egypt to Chad. The Cabinet Ministers and the chairpersons of higher institutions of Chad, the MPs, the ambassadors accredited to Chad, the representatives of international and sub-regional organizations, and the LCBC development partners, special invitees of the current chairman of the summit, LCBC national experts, and representatives of civil society organizations attended the opening ceremony. The opening ceremony was marked by the following speeches: the welcome address by the mayor of N'Djamena, the remarks of the LCBC executive secretary, the speech of the current chairman of the LCBC Council of Ministers, the ceremonial speech of His Excellency Francois Bozize, President of the Central African Republic, the ceremonial speech of His Excellency Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCFR, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Let me first appreciate my brother, His Excellency Idris Deby Itno, President of the Republic of Chad, the government and the good people of this great country, for the warm reception, according to me and my entrance since I arrived in this great city. And again, let me appreciate the government for accepting to host us for this 14th summit of heads of state and government of the Lake Chad Basin Commission.
Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, in his speech, referred to the last summit of heads of state and government held in N'Djamena, in which a number of very important decisions were taken regarding strategies, ways and means of giving a new lease of life to the activities of the Lake Chad Basin Commission, LCBC. He emphasized the immediate concern of the summit, which remains the proper and effective functioning of the cherished body. He stressed the importance of continuity in providing the Secretariat of LCBC with the necessary tools to enable it to function as a modern and forward-looking organization. He further reminded the gathering on the unabating trend in climate change and its socio-economic impact on human habitation, social existence of people, including the ecology and biodiversity of the basin. He also pointed out the importance of funding the body and Nigeria's commitment at all times to meet up her financial obligation to the body. President Goodluck Jonathan went further to make comments on the issue of the drying up of Lake Chad and the interbasin water transfer from Ubangi River.
Dear colleagues, one of the greatest concerns of our government and people has been the issue of the drying up of the Lake Chad. Lastly, the feasibility study on interbasin water transfer from Prog River from the lake to the Lake Chad has been completed. The good news which we have all received today is that the project is feasible, that life and hope can return to our populations around the lake. Nigeria, as you know, has been very supportive of this project. It remains very clear and dear to our heart, and we will continue to present every support in whatever needed to carry out more detailed studies, the environmental impact assessment, as well as other needed hydraulics towards peaceful realization, including the social impact assessment phase. The Nigerian delegation includes members of the National Assembly, and I have with me the chairman of the House of Representatives Committee on the Lake Basin Commission and chairman of the Committee on Water Resources. Let us now represent the Parliamentary Committee with the direct mandate for invigorated activities. Thank my dear brother and colleague, Representative David, for the warmth with which we always receive us here in January whenever we have the opportunity to be with you. I'm confident that the decisions which we have taken, which we take at this summit today, will help us to revitalize the Lake Chad Basin Commission and make it more operational and effective and result-oriented. Thank you.
Celebrations were conducted in camera. Heads of state and government debated upon the following: the remarks of the LCBC Executive Secretary, the report and the recommendations of the 57th session of the Council of Ministers presented by the current chairman of the Council, the Minister of Urban and Rural Hydraulics, and First Commissioner of Charge to LCBC. The ceremonial speech of His Excellency Francois Bozize, President of the Central African Republic. The ceremonial speech of His Excellency Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCFR, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The ceremonial report of the current chairman of the LCBC's Summit of Heads of State and Government on the ecological and security situation of the Lake Chad Basin. The appointment of the Executive Secretary. The election of the new chairman of the LCBC Summit. The date and venue of the next summit of LCBC Heads of State and Government. After discussions, Heads of State and Government decided as follows. 1. To approve the report of the 57th Ordinary Session of the Council of Ministers. 2. To pay their annual contributions to the LCBC budget not later than 3 months after the adoption of the annual budget. 3. To pay all the arrears of contributions by the 31st of December 2012. 4. To adopt the Water Charter of the Lake Chad Basin and submit it to their respective parliaments for its ratification. 5. To adopt the conclusions of the feasibility study of the water transfer project from the Ubangi River to Lake Chad. 6. To authorize the Executive Secretariat to design a schedule of supplementary engineering works of the selected option and necessary preliminary projects involving experts from member countries for the water transfer from the Ubangi River to Lake Chad through a 5-year plan to improve the conveyance of the Chari River and the development of Lake Chad, and also to carry out studies to establish interactions between groundwater and man-made rivers. 7. To endorse the conclusions of the Africa session of the 8th World Forum on Sustainable Development on the Safeguard of Lake Chad, organized in October 2010 in N'Djamena, and direct the development of an atlas on Lake Chad. 8. To support the results of the workshop organized in Marseille, France, on the sideline of the 6th World Water Forum in March 2012. 9. To adopt the 5-year LCBC Investment Plan IP and direct the Executive Secretariat to organize a donors conference in 2012 to include the private sector to fund it. The Summit of Heads of State and Government decided that member countries contribute to the funding of this plan. 10. To urgently take necessary measures to reactivate the multinational joint task force in the Lake Chad Basin involving Cameroon, Nigeria, Niger, Chad, and the Central African Republic. Niger will organize as quickly as possible a meeting bringing together ministers of defense and army chiefs of staff. 11. Each member country shall participate in the multinational joint task force on security with a fully equipped battalion. The commanding of the force is rotative, starting with Nigeria for 6 months. 12. To fully support and affirm their staunch solidarity to brother countries such as Sudan, Libya, Mali, Nigeria, and Guinea-Bissau facing threats of instability. 13. To reactivate the LCBC Interparliamentary Committee. 14. To direct the Council of Ministers to hold their 58th ordinary session of the Council of Ministers in Nigeria in November 2012. 15. To appoint Engineer Sanusi Imran Abdullahi as LCBC Executive Secretary to carry on and complete the current tenure until May 2013 and start another tenure until 2017. 16. To appoint their brother, His Excellency Mahamadou Issoufou, President of the Republic of Niger and Head of State, as Chairman of the Summit. 17. To hold the next Summit of Heads of State and Government in 2014 in Niger. Heads of State and Government congratulated the commissioners on the quality, pertinent, and accurate report. They renewed their commitment to the Commission and praised the Executive Secretariat to carry on the efforts to boost the organization and to achieve the set objectives. The closing ceremony was marked by the remarks of His Excellency Idris Deby Itno, President of the Republic of Chad, and outgoing chairman of the LCBC Summit of Heads of State and Government. The closing speech of His Excellency Mahamadou Issoufou, President of the Republic of Niger, and incoming chairman of the LCBC Summit of Heads of State and Government. The vote of thanks, which was read by Mrs. Sarah Rent Ochepi, Minister of Water Resources and First Commissioner of Nigeria to LCBC.
The LCBC has continued to experience what can rightly be called a silent revolution, which is beginning to reposition the organization as a world-class institution. A revolution which we all pray will soon bring vitality back to the entire Lake Chad Basin. We thank the President again on this occasion for the excellent arrangements put in place towards the success of the week-long activities by experts, by councils of ministers, and ultimately this 14th Summit of Heads of State and Government. Our collective prayers are that the government and people of the Republic of Chad will continue to express a new season of peace, prosperity, and progress. We wish to also acknowledge the active support of Her Excellency, the First Lady of Chad, to this summit. And we pray that she will continue to lend us your support. We also wish to use this opportunity to congratulate and welcome the new chairman of the Summit of Heads of State, His Excellency President Mahamadou Issoufou of Niger. We wish you a successful tenure. Long live solidarity, long live international cooperation. Bon voyage, excellence. Bon voyage, tout le monde.
Among many issues deliberated and decided upon at the summit, 2 issues stood out: the issue of security and the recharging of Lake Chad. The new state of insecurity and threat to the much-cherished peace around the Lake Chad area posed a great challenge to the summit. And the shrinking and drying up of Lake Chad also posed a great concern.
Work of military personnel from member countries created stations and attack on the border within the 4 member countries to ensure security. Along the years, something that will happen in Cameroon will end. As the efforts of the contingent, the army contingent from Nigeria and Chad are doing across the borders to ensure security, it's coming to a west because the border between Cameroon and the other member countries is porous because the multinational investors were not there. And you know Africa is facing security challenges and Nigeria also is facing security challenges and other sub-regional countries are facing different types of security challenges. So the thought forum the global time now to reactivate this multinational comprising military personnel from the countries Nigeria, Nigeria, and Cameroon. In fact, the representative of Central Africa thinks of the view that this multinational should be expanded. So the security outfit for the solution to ensure peace and security. Without peace and security, no nation will prosper.
At the time the Southeast Asia thought it wise to have SCPC, and later in 1990 when FCPC was formed, the challenges there are not as still now, and it's what we are having all over the region in that subject. We discovered that the problem of once again, getting access to the other country, and if you don't bring it with the members to realign the importance of acting to cooperate and think of multinational in such a way that the sub-region, I mean the entire region is not used as a buffer of free labors for all in the insurgents and other activities that really part of national security. Those are things I think I would want to take and I like to remember from what has been going on. I think there is divine intervention as to how we should be about it, because the people that we are not, I was not expecting to be talking support. They are now talking and seeking reasons why we should have the joint action to enforce that everybody should have the interest of all.
Was in the process of transferring water from the Oman to recharge the lake. Several groups of people, communities will be affected, and we do not just want them to be put in a disadvantage. So for us, recharging the lake Chad is very important, more so that the communities living around the lake Chad from the Nigerian end are also exposed to very serious security challenges of recent. We know the activities of Boko Haram, especially within the Maiduguri area. We believe that if the lake is recharged, people get back to their normal economic activities again, that there won't be idle youth that would be available to be used wrongly by people who don't mean well for Nigeria. So it's a very important assignment, a very important exercise that Nigeria is supporting it the Chad Basin Commission, the Secretariat has been instructed to begin preliminary work on the design of the project. And we expect that we should be able to come up with the design within the next 6 months. And thereafter, we would also embark on fundraising for the project, because the proposal on the ground now is that the project would require about $14.5 billion. And it's something that all the countries of the basin would have to work hard to raise funds from donor agencies, from member countries as well, and also from the private sector within these countries.
As the 14th summit has ended on a positive note, it is expected that the implementation of these policies will be easy and fast, since it is the general consensus. It is hoped that when member countries gather in Niger in 2014, a lot of achievements will be recorded on the implementation of the resolutions of 2012.